Marijuana. The word alone immediately brings several images to mind. For many, those images may be of people sitting around laughing and eating a lot of junk food. For others, it may mean relaxation and peace. For patients with HIV, marijuana may bring something else to mind: hope. Because as it turns out, marijuana may be an effective way to reduce the mental decline many HIV patients suffer. In order to understand how this could be true, we first need to understand how HIV affects the body, and more specifically, the brain. The human immunodeficiency virus, more commonly known as HIV, is an incredibly effective virus. It enters the bloodstream through other bodily fluids, and once there, it begins its attack. It assaults several types of cells, but the most predominant attack is on the body's T cells. These cells are lymphocytes, which are a type of white blood cells. T cells are crucial players in our immune system, and different T cells have different jobs. Some are like strategists who send defense orders to the rest of your immune system in the form of chemical instructions. Other T cells are fighters who recognize and kill infected cells. You also have T cells which act like medics who work with other cells in your body to produce antibodies. No matter the role, every T cell in your body plays a crucial role in maintaining your health. But remember, HIV is incredibly effective. The virus is covered in glycoproteins which rapidly mutate, eventually causing your T cells to not recognize the virus at all. Once this happens, the virus begins to attach itself to your T cells and embed its genetic information into them. The T cells unknowingly begin to create more copies of the virus, which then go on to infect more T cells, and the cycle goes on and on. Now, you may be asking yourself what all of this has to do with your brain. Over time, HIV begins to affect your brain in a variety of ways. Because HIV weakens your immune system, your brain is also more vulnerable to infections. When this happens, some medications aren't able to effectively treat the brain because of the complicated blood-brain barrier medication must get through. And of course, if you have HIV, you are also more prone to depression and high levels of anxiety. Over long periods of time, these can also cause your mental abilities to decline. Perhaps the most significant impact HIV has on your brain is through the chronic inflammation it causes throughout the body. Even when medicated, the body experiences low but steady amounts of inflammation. This inflammation can damage the cells which make up the nervous system and cause your brain to not act in the ways that it should. The effects can vary, ranging from mood swings to issues of memory, thinking, and even physical coordination. When the brain of an HIV patient is damaged by these things, they are said to be experiencing HAND, or HIV-associated neurological disease. One study reported that nearly 50% of participants were diagnosed with HAND, while other, smaller studies have reported different numbers. As I said earlier, treating these issues can be very difficult. This is where marijuana comes in. THC is a compound in marijuana that has been shown to be effective in slowing the rate at which mental functionality declines over time as a result of HIV. It is believed that this effectiveness could be because the THC acts as an anti-inflammatory agent, countering the inflammation that typically occurs in HIV patients. Researchers sampled blood from 40 HIV patients and found that the patients who smoked marijuana had far fewer inflammatory cells than those who did not smoke, even rivaling the numbers of healthy people who aren't infected with HIV at all. For some people, marijuana is also known to help with the depression and anxiety that can often accompany HIV. Though, smoking it may not be the best idea. Instead, patients may one day take pills or even edibles that allow them to get the benefits of marijuana without having to smoke it. It isn't a secret that marijuana has seen wide medical use. For HIV patients, this discovery could be especially relieving.